gotta
talking
study.
to one of the
Time's
former
precious.
greats
One
in the
sec, I wanna
USFL,
see
a man who
this.
played in 2 Super Bowls, Mr. Billy Pierce. Billy, I think
There he
a lot
is.
of your fans
God,
were
he's even
shocked
better
and
looking
some
on television.
surprised to hear that
God
you were
damn it, will
giving
you
up
turn
the
that
game
TV off? We're
for
wasting
full-time
time.
competitive
Hang in
football.
there, Levitz. It'll
But I
just
think
be a
the
couple
worst
more
thing that
minutes.
happened
A couple
to
more
you
minutes
is
could be the
those
difference in
deliveries.
assimilating a
Anything to say to your
concept.
fans?
I
Well,
never
I'd
knew
thank
he was
them for
that
the letters
good
of
looking. He
encouragement
sits
and support.
behind me in
I'm sorry
contracts.
if anyone feels I let them
What's
down.
it like going out with a
It's time for me to
celebrity?
move on.
I don't think of him as a celebrity, just a real good friend.
Your good friend happens to be the best running back in the history of the game. You should have seen him in the Super Bowl. He was amazing.
I'm telling you, 2 more minutes of this and I'm splitting. I'm not gonna fail Kingsville's test because of this garbage.
Oh,
screw them, Levitz. Let's get started.
Well, you're one of the older students. You feel a bit out of place?
Well, the priority in law school is to get through, and that's where all my attention is directed. I guess you can sum it up like this. There's some facts in my life I have to deal with. I'm getting older.
We're all getting older.
I used to
You
play
think we can direct our attention away from the television set and on
Wait a minute,
our futures
hey!
for a while?
What do we have to cover? Are we going to be ready for this?
I've already made extensive notes on formation of contract. Let's begin with that.
I don't think that's a very interesting or dynamic area, Levitz. I don't think it even merits Kingsfield testing us on
It
it.
was interesting enough for Kingsfield to spend 3.5 days on.
Everything. We have to cover everything. Kingsfield will leave no stone unturned.
Would you please give us the case of Huckton versus Bolton Brothers? Mr. Pierce.
Huckton versus Bolton Brothers involved a mail order house which stated in its catalog that all products are guaranteed 100%. Mrs. Huckton ordered a child's flannel nightgown from Bolton Brothers. The nightgown, as it happened, caused her child to break out in huge red pustules.
And how do you consider that relevant, Mr. Pierce?
Well, apparently the nightgown had been treated to make it non-flammable. At the time, it was a federal requirement. The child was allergic to the chemicals. Mrs. Huckton attempted to return the flannel nightgown to get a refund. She also sued for medical expenses in treating the skin disease.
And was the court's opinion correct in your opinion? Mr. Pierce?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that all items that are guaranteed 100% means that every item has to be 100% perfect. I think it means that the customer has to be 100% satisfied. And Mrs. Huckton was not satisfied.
Well, Mr. Pierce, there are at least 2 reasons why Mrs. Huckton would not recover her medical expenses. In a suit for breach of contract, first, the guarantee limits her recovery to the price of the product. Secondly, the company has been required by federal law to use the noxious chemical. The fault, therefore, if any, lies with the government. In any event, liability based on negligence lies in the field of tort law. Here we study contracts, Mr. Pierce.
Sir, you didn't say anything about the exam.
I had nothing to say.
Will the exam cover promises implied in the law? No, it won't be covered?
No advice, no hints, no help.
How you doing? Sims, I'm Richard Sims. I'm in your contracts class.
Oh, right. How are you?
Not a good day, huh? Mind if I sit down?
No, go ahead.
It's pretty hard on you today, wasn't he?
It wasn't fun.
Maybe Kingsfield's hard on you because everybody knows you. You're a celebrity.
Not in contracts, I'm not. Just couldn't think very well on my feet today.
You're a man who's famous for thinking on his feet. You must be used to incredible pressure.
It's a different kind of pressure. I'm on the football field. There's noise, action. You know, thousands of people in the stands, coaches yelling on the sideline, and with all this action going on, it was still clear to me where I had to go. The end zone was straight ahead. Kingsville's class, It's quiet. Everybody's waiting for your thoughts.
Well, what counts as a test? You got to take on that test the way you took on Dallas.
Dallas was a breeze compared to Kingsfield.
Hey, listen, Billy, we started a study group in the dorms, you know, to go over the material, prepare for the test. You want to join?
I don't know what I could contribute.
Well, we figure out each guy's strong area, and then that person's responsible for researching that material.
I don't know if I have a strong area.
Gotta find out.
If I may say so, sir, I think you've outdone yourself this time.
Thank you, Nottingham.
I don't see how any student could complete this exam in the 3 hours they've been given, much less pass.
Truth is that law students are becoming ever more intelligent and more subtle. Some will pass, and a few will even do well.
Some will fail, Professor. It's a very hard examination.
Please duplicate it, and as usual, file the original and 4 copies for future reference.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Now, what if I write a contract saying I promise to give you $100 and you give me 10? Now, is that enforceable?
Sure. No, wait, Billy. Remember the money exception? A contract exchanging money with nothing more is held to be a gift, not an enforceable business contract.
Okay, now what if the contract reads that you are to give me $10 today, and in exchange, I'm to give you $20 in a year? Now, is that a valid contract?
I guess it's the same thing. An exchange of money, therefore, not a contract.
Look, Billy, the cases are totally different. Here, one party is getting paid right away. The other party is getting paid in a year. So it's not an exchange dollar for dollar. It's also an exchange involving when people get paid. See, $10 right now may mean more to you than having to pay back $20 in a year. It's like an ordinary loan, not a gift.
I'm sorry, I'm just confused.
Look, Kingsfield wrote a good article on this aspect of consideration. It's called Nuance in Contract. It'll help you out.
I hope something does.
Look, let's go on to promissory estoppel. We're wasting time with consideration.
We keep jumping from topic to topic. If we don't get organized around here, we're all gonna flunk this test.
If you'd all just listen to me, if we study restatement of contracts, Section 90, we'll do fine.
What about enforcement? Specific performance? No wonder you got a D in first term, Sims.
Thanks, Laura.
Billy, you can't rush yourself. You gotta think these things through.
I feel like I'm just hanging by a thread. I know I'm holding everyone back.
Maybe we can study together, just the two of us.
If I could be of any help, maybe the 3 of us should study together.
Why do you want to help me?
I don't know, maybe because you were my idol.
Hi, Laura.
Getting a group of people together in a room to study for a Kingsfield test and expecting them to be civilized is asking the impossible. I'm just gonna have to gut it out myself. I can do it if my body holds up.
Laura, don't put yourself through this. Make it easy on yourself. Let me help you.
Yeah, who's gonna help you?
Hey, I'm a 2L. I can help you if you let me.
There's so much to study. There's so many things to cover.
Laura, let me help you focus in on the important areas.
I'm stuck. I'm stuck with you.
Yeah, well, look at the converse. I'm stuck with you. Actually, the advantage is yours, Berger. I have a 3.8 average and a scholarship on the line.
Oh, yeah? Well, I got a 3.89 and a summer clerkship waiting for me.
Well, well, if you want to join me, I'm delving into specific performance.
Schmuck! Kingsfield's gonna lean more heavily on reliance.
Every 1L in Kingsfield's class is like a savage beast. All they care about is passing that exam. I'd never seen them so mean.
Oh, then you don't remember us very well, Val.
Hey, I was never like that.
You were the worst.
It's gotten so bad, I've had to personally take over to make sure Laura studies the right way.
Personally take over? Willis, what are you doing? She decided she didn't want you as a lover, so now you're gonna try the we can just be friends routine? And if she gets in a jam, she'll lean on your shoulder, and who knows what might happen.
Ford, how can you take an honest effort and turn it into something so calculated and debased? I just have a friend's interest at heart. I want to see her at the top of her class. I want to see her in my arms.
Sunshine days and midterms? Oh, it's not fair.
I'd love to just stay out here. But we're headed towards some dark old building where we're gonna study until we're bleary-eyed and have no sense of time. Don't know whether it's day or night.
Well, even after we finish the midterm, we have to gear up for the final. It just keeps going on.
You know, maybe that's what law school is all about. Maybe they do that on purpose to get us ready for case after case after case.
I don't know about the case, but this test has gotten to me. I'm scared, Vivian. I've never failed at anything before.
You'll do just fine, Billy.
I've got to.
You missed the point. Lehigh Valley is the case to concentrate on. Kingsfield argued it. He's got it in his casebook, and he wrote an article on it. He's got to stress it on the test. 2 years ago, he had 2 questions on it. Last year, 1 question.
Yes, which means he won't be asking a question about it this year. He knows we'll be expecting it.
Hey, a lot of luck, Levitz. A lot of luck.
Thanks.
I saw that, Berger. So you got eyes. How many times do I got to tell you? Obey the rules or else. If you don't want to obey rules, why go to law school? Why become a lawyer?
For the money.
Animals, nuts, crazy, insulting, arrogant, paranoid.
Law students, Bill, and worried about their grades, their future, and Kingsfield.
Well, at least you're going to be adequately prepared for this exam. I got some good horn books.
Oh, God. Belle, I know you've been through this before, but Kingsfield said law students shouldn't use crib notes. He says it's best just to concentrate on the stuff that we've talked about in class.
Laura, think for a moment. Of course, Kingsfield doesn't want any law student to take a shortcut, but then he isn't the one who's doing the studying.
Belle, I'd rather do as Kingsfield suggested.
My office has been bombarded with inquiries concerning Friday's examination. There seems to be considerable interest on what materials will be covered. And for that reason, I've decided to deal with all these questions here, now, and finally. Friday's midterm exam will consist of completely new questions. None of the material on it, none of the questions will reflect any of the past tests given in this course. Therefore, poring over the last year's exams, trying to divine what questions I might ask, is completely useless. There's only one way to pass this examination. That way can be summarized in one single word. Study.
Hey! You've got Camper's book on bilateral promises. Look, you're not reading it. I need it.
Wait your turn.
Look, I've got Kingsfield's exam.
Will you leave me alone, please? Everybody's got Kingfield's exam.
Jerk has Camper's book and you won't turn it over.
What's the matter with you? You can't do anything on your own? Do I have to do everything for you? Watch how it's done, wimp brain. Hi, Clemens. How you doing?
Fine. Why?
Campus police are towing your car.
My car?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks. Watch my step, would you?
Now, you must handle the professor's papers with the utmost care.
Mrs. Nottingham, I will treat every scrap of paper as if it were the Magna Carta.
I don't understand why the professor allowed you to be here unsupervised.
It was arranged through my commercial transactions, Professor.
You must make sure everything is locked up, the lights turned off.
Mrs. Nottingham, I will check everything twice, 3 times.
Well, good night, Mr. Bell. Be sure not to touch anything in the professor's office. Oh, and please, please be careful. You are responsible if anything is disturbed. And you won't need these lights.
Yes, ma'am.
McBride versus Larkins is a definitive case for a specific performance where the court refused to enforce the contract dealing with the sale of
Vivian, let's take a break. Sims will be here soon anyway.
Okay, well, when he gets here, we'll go on to damages. Gosh, there's several cases we need to take a good look at here. There's the one on...
Vivian, let's slow down a little bit. I'm exhausted.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry. It's hard to stop. I hate these midterms. It feels that all the time spent not drilling the material in your head is wasted time.
Yeah, but are we ever going to relax?
Oh, I hope so. Do you miss playing?
Yeah, sometimes. There's a certain thrill you get when you're running across a field. Sitting in a library doesn't quite give you the same rush.
I have a hypo for you.
Shoot.
If it was possible for you to play football all the time, all your life, if you could stay physically prime, okay, would you be here toughing it out at law school?
Can't answer that.
Why not?
I just don't know. What I do know is this. In football, when you turn 30 and you hear footsteps, it's not another tackler. It's time. Time to get out.
Gosh, most people are beginning to enjoy their success at your age. I mean, it's weird that young to face retiring.
I was bitter. And I was wrong. I felt the team wanted to toss me out. There was no team loyalty. You know the old story. You slow down, they say goodbye.
What about now?
Now?
Yeah.
I just accept it. It's not a matter of loyalty or anything like that. I had to realize that I only had so many good years. You know what I think about now?
What's that?
When I think about them, those good years, I remember just how great they really were.
Then why did you decide to go to law school?
Why did you decide to go to law school?
Oh, I was fascinated with law. It just seemed to be the backbone of it all. Besides the fact I was no good at science, so med school is out.
Yeah. What makes you think that my answer would be any different than the answer you just gave?
I don't know.
Looks like we have to get down to it now.
Hi. Hi, sorry I'm late. Had to pry the Anderson text away from some asshole in the library.
Sims, Billy and I went over the areas we need to cover.
Hey, Billy, where are your trophies?
In my mom's basement.
Oh, too bad.
Billy's gonna cover reliance, I'll go over considerations, and we figured you'd do damages.
That's fine, except I already did a lot of work on reliance.
Great. I'll switch then. That just means we'll get a head start.
Whoa, you've done some research.
Great, I really need the help.
Hey, we all need the help.
Lagden case is crucial to understanding reciprocal agreements.
Yeah, but Bill said...
Levitz, what are you doing?
Me?
Yeah, you nitwit. Help the other students. Look, Kingsfield's test is graded on a curve. The idea is to do better than that. If you gotta give somebody information, at least give them the wrong information.
see you at the final review session about 8?
Quiet! No distractions. Will you please shut up? You may not care about this exam, but we do, so please shut up.
It's only an exam.
Yeah, right. Sure. Sorry. It's just my life. Only my future hinges on it. Who cares, huh?
Billy, to study alone, why don't you review with Sims?
What's wrong? Sims?
Yeah. I guess I don't like him. But that's not it. I need to be one-on-one with the material.
One-on-one?
Yeah. Okay, Billy, you should study with Sims.
Oh, I'll do it. But I won't like it.
Well, you'll make Sims stay. He'll have you all to himself.
I've had it with you inconsiderate bastards. I don't understand how you can have a discussion in the middle of the library when you know we have a midterm coming up. Everybody's screaming. How can I get any studying done when everybody's screaming?
Feinstock versus Shannon.
Reliance induced by fraud is not valid.
Connors versus Dennis.
The statute of frauds is not applicable in Louisiana. Bell, I'm wrecked.
Very good.
Bell, I'm exhausted.
Have a cup of coffee.
A cup of coffee? I've already had 5. I'm shaking from all the caffeine. I'm gonna start hallucinating if I don't get some sleep soon.
You think Sims and Billy and Vivian are sleeping? You think Berger and Levitz are taking 5? This is the big time. You're up against everybody else. Now, some people are going to pass this exam, and some people are going to fail. Some people are going to make law review, and some people are going to go waltzing right out of this law school. Now, which direction do you want to go?
Let's go. I'm gonna make it to the top. I'm gonna be a great attorney, a Supreme Court justice. Oh, God, just let me make it through this test.
That's the spirit. Shamrock versus Fairfax.
Restatement of contracts is advisory only. It has no legal effect.
Kingsville spent the entire week on specific performance. I keep asking myself, why? Why should he?
You want to know why? To throw the class off. Billy, it's like strategy in a football game. You think you know what your opponent's going to do, and then, boom, he fakes and runs the other way.
Yeah, but sometimes the best fake is to run it right up the middle and to do the obvious.
Hey, do it my way. I know I'm right. What's the matter? Are you nervous?
Yeah, I'm nervous.
How did you handle it before a game? Are you one of those guys who tears apart a vending machine and bangs his head against the wall?
No, that's not even close to my style. What I used to do is I'd go in the locker room, take a little nap. Wake up, think about the game, what I had to do. Get calm so I could execute well. Guess there's not much difference now. There's pressure. Playoffs and Super Bowls, just like in school, midterms and finals. Well, I guess law school teaches you the same thing that football does. That the opponent, it's not the other guy. It's yourself. And that's what I'm afraid of. I'm letting myself down.
Billy, you're a champion. To me, that means you have the strength to do anything you want. I think you're lucky. You know what it is to stand out. Only a few guys ever get there. The rest, they'll end up drudges who slave away in the trenches. I guess that's what I'm afraid of. Never getting a shot at the great jobs, the great clerkships.
Don't worry, Sims. We'll both make it.
Take it from me, then. The theory of reliance, how it permeates contract law. That's the way to go.
Okay, Sims. Reliance it is.
And I think we should review Larkin versus Pips on Reliance.
Sieve brain, we went through that area yesterday. What's the matter with you, Levitz? Are you having trouble retaining the material?
That is just like you, Berger. You egotistical son of a bitch. You review material more than once. Why can't I?
I didn't realize, Levitz, you have a learning disability, and I wish you would have told me before we became study partners.
Well, even to pass the exam, I won't listen to this. Maybe I won't have anyone to study with, but I can't take it anymore. You're insulting. You're an asshole. Study by yourself.
Hold it, Levitz. If you split now, we're both committing suicide. We're stuck with each other.
Even if I flunk, even if I lose my scholarship, just thinking that you will flunk too is reward enough.
Weiss versus Tittle.
The Uniform Commercial Code is constitutional.
Pickett versus Bounce.
Farm products that are regulated by the Department of Agriculture are not subject to state contractual regulations bypassing the Commerce Code. Thanks, Bill. From now on, I've got to do it myself.
Okay. Hey, stay cool.
I hope you will find taking this test as exhilarating an experience as I had in preparing it for you. I trust that for those who have studied, it'll prove a worthy battlefield on which you can show your mettle. For those who have not studied, I assure you this examination will expose your weaknesses like the honed blade of a surgeon's scalpel. You will have 3 hours to complete the exam. Proceed. May begin. Gentlemen and ladies, your time is up.
Excuse me, please. Excuse me.
My man Sims! Woo! You're beautiful. Thanks to you, I got an A- on Kingsfield's exam. And you? I got an A. I got an A! I had my doubts, but you stuck by me, and I got an A-. All right. Couldn't have done it without you, man.
Hey, Levitz, guess what? I got a B+. So much for flunking, huh?
Berger, I got an A-. God, I love being smarter than you.
Look, Laura, it's my fault. I'll go to Kingsfield. I'll reason with them. I'll get them to give you another chance.
Willis, I just need to be alone.
Will you forgive me?
Mr. Bell, I've asked you to come here because Mrs. Nottingham has just informed me she's discovered that one of the file copies of my recent Contracts 1 examination is missing. In the past weeks, only you, Mrs. Nottingham, and myself have had access to these offices. Since Mrs. Nottingham is not in the habit of losing examination copies, I thought you, perhaps, might be able to enlighten me. Perhaps you saw some law student near my office, or you invited certain of your friends to visit you here?
No, nothing like that, sir.
I see.
Professor Kingsfield, I did hear something in the outer office.
What?
It was just noises. I went out and took a look, but everything seemed normal.
Mr. Bell, this is a matter of the utmost importance. Future careers are at stake here. Merely to glance at an examination before the test is grounds for expulsion. An act like this degrades the entire university. So think, Mr. Bell. Think.
My body broke out in a cold sweat. I thought I was going to pass out right in front of Kingsfield. This is a nightmare.
It is pretty coincidental, isn't it, Bell? I mean, the test disappearing while you're in Kingsfield's office.
I know. I was privileged enough to look at Kingsfield's material, and now I'm a suspect. You're being ridiculous. I am? Yeah. Why shouldn't he suspect me? A 2L who doesn't have a penny to his name gets his hands on a test that's worth elephant bucks? That's a motive.
And Laura. Love has driven people to acts more desperate than this.
Well, maybe Bell did do it.
No way. Laura got a D, thank God.
The shifting sands of love.
If anything should point to my innocence, it's the way I coached Laura. Unconsciously, I prepared her for last year's test, the one we took. Completely blew it for her.
Well, Bell, were there any surprises? Did anyone do well who shouldn't have?
Well, a few people got A's. Berger got a B+. We got to do something about this. It's going to spread all through the dorms. People will be suspecting each other, accusing each other. It'll ruin the whole class.
I mean, we have to do something. You're the dorm advisor, and I might add, a prime suspect.
Hey, Ford, I'm not a prime suspect. The thief walked in right under my nose. Now, if we just remain rational about this, we'll realize that the suspects are the people who got the good grades. Berger, Levitz, Sims, Billy Pierce.
Pierce did well? Rumor had it Billy was having his problems.
You got a minute, Berger? No. I think you got into law school in the first place.
Would it surprise you to know I graduated summa cum laude?
What's your major in, Ms. Pac-Man?
I majored in Oriental literature. What's your problem, Bell?
You did very well on that Contracts 1 exam, Berger. Very well.
Cut the crap, Bell. Who authorized you to play Sherlock Holmes?
You got something to hide, Berger?
Look, Bell, I don't cheat. And I didn't steal Kingsfield's exam. That's the man you want to be talking to. Levitz! The night before the test, our little study group broke up. He was so dense I couldn't tolerate him anymore. And the very subject he was so dense on is the same subject that Kingsfield tested us on. Yeah, Levitz was facing that test, and he was facing it alone. And he was scared. You should have flunked that test, but you passed it, and you passed it with an A. You were struggling with the material. You're the one who stole that test.
Let me tell you a little story, Bell. My friend Berger here is such an unsavory, desperate character that he was ready to feed Laura false information in order to improve his position on the curve. It's the same trick he played on me when he tried to steer me away from studying reliance. Berger knew the subject matter on Kingsfield's test would be reliance. Oh, anything to manipulate your position on the curve.
You listen to me, Levitz.
Hey, knock it off! What's wrong with you
You're
guys?
not guilty. Why are you so angry?
Stuff it, Levitz.
Heck no, one's enough. I'm retired.
Billy, did you talk to Bell yet?
No, but I heard he's conducting an investigation.
Well, I'm glad he is, because somebody ought to be doing something.
Yeah, you're right.
Thanks.
Billy, how many questions did you anticipate study for?
I don't know. I think Sims and I got lucky. You know, studied the right stuff.
You got lucky or Sims got lucky?
Vivian, we both got lucky. I don't cheat and I don't steal exams.
I'm not saying you did.
Well, you can't just go around arbitrarily pointing your finger at people.
It's not arbitrary, Billy. Sims is not a good student. He got a good grade.
Look, Vivian, let's take a look at what happened, okay? Now, I'd stake my life you wouldn't cheat or steal an exam. But you broke away from the study group. You wanted to be on your own. You didn't need anyone else's help. And you did well on the test. Now, do you look any less guilty than Sims? Or me? Or anybody else in our class that did well?
Billy, Sims kept pressing for reliance. You think about it.
Billy, what's the matter? It's the exam. I keep wondering, how everything you suggested we study ended up on the test. You hit every question right.
I was lucky.
I want to ask you a question. Straight.
I didn't steal Kingsfield's test. I was tempted to, but I didn't do it. Billy, come on. Have a beer.
Hart, you won't even talk to me.
It's gotta be a shock. I mean, getting a D and then knowing you've got to ace the final exam at the end of the year just to get a C? Give her some time.
I feel like such a jerk. Trust Brother Bell. What was wrong with me? Why did I have to interfere? This whole exam has been a nightmare.
Well, on the bright side, at least you're not the only suspect.
Now, the only person I haven't talked to yet is Billy Pierce.
Now, if you expect to build a case for yourself, you'll need to speak with everyone who's implicated.
Hart, the guy plowed through linebackers for a living. I'm a little reluctant to accuse him of unethical behavior.
Put on your track shoes, Willis. I think you better talk to him.
Damn you, Bill. What are you here trying to say?
Billy, now look. Somebody stole the test.
There are over 100 students in Kingsfield's class. Any one of them could have taken that exam. So why are you here talking to me?
It's only logical that we talk to all the people who got the top grades. And you weren't doing too well in the class.
Damn it, I studied hard for that grade. I studied damn hard for that test.
Belle, listen, you're on the wrong track here. Now, Billy, I want to ask Belle a question. I want you to listen.
Go ahead.
Okay. Belle, what do you think the chances are somebody guessing all the questions Kingsfield would ask on an exam?
About 1 in a billion.
That's what I thought, too. But I'm just a dumb 1L. Did you hear that, Billy? 1 in a billion.
I'm sorry. I don't like what this place does to people. A midterm and people are tearing at each other. Someone risked their future to steal an exam? That's insane. I came here to study a profession with integrity, honor, dignity. There's no dignity here. I thought the dream of becoming a lawyer was a good one. Now I don't know how good that dream is, nor do I know if I want to pay that price.
Billy, listen, you can't condemn a school just because a bunch of students go nuts over a test. Billy, I'm sorry, but I don't think you got your grade the way you wanted to.
I don't think you've been telling me the truth.
About what?
Oh, come on, Sims.
For Christ's sakes, we worked our asses off. We did well on the exam. What's the matter
Sims,
with you?
I like you. Apart from Vivian, you were the first guy I crossed the gap with. Made friends with a fellow law student. But it's not gonna last if you don't level with me.
You want me to say something I'm not gonna say.
Come on, you anticipated every question on the test. You stole the test.
What do you want, Billy, a confession?
Come on, you've got to live with your own decisions.
Bullshit! There's no justice in law school. Do you really think the good guys win out and the bad guys are punished and live terrible lives? Don't be naive, Billy.
I'm not being naive. It's your future, and it's going to catch up to you.
You want to hear about my future? I am going to graduate at the top of my class. The best law firms are going to be bidding for me. I'll make a lot of money. I'll have a reputation that people will respect. And you can't tell me any different, Billy.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm okay. I wish I'd done a better job with you.
Well, I really appreciate the fact that you tried. But from now on, I'm going to have to study in my own way, in my own time. Knowing one thing, though, ultimately you do it yourself. There'll be other tests. I'll get through Kingsfield's class yet.
I know you will.
If you can get through it, I certainly can. Can I buy you a cup of coffee?
Okay.
Mrs. Nottingham tells me you wish to speak to me about the recent midterm.
Yes. I want my grade withdrawn.
And why is that?
Well, I've come to realize that it wasn't an accurate measurement of what I've learned in your class.
I see. And the test has been stolen. Does that in any way affect your decision?
Yes, it does.
Are you trying to tell me, Mr. Pierce, that you are the one who stole the test?
No, but I think I studied with someone who did.
Mr. Pierce, we are dancing around the issue. If you know who stole that test, it is your responsibility to speak up.
Sir, with all due respect, the only thing I can do in good conscience is to nullify my own grade. And hope that you'll give me the opportunity to retake the test.
Mr. Pierce, you will be able to take that test again. Incidents of this sort always sadden me. What are we here for? Except to study and expand our abilities. And in the process, we must constantly re-examine ourselves and unsparingly reappraise the progress we're making. That is a challenge anyone should gladly embrace. Perhaps we should take a moment now to appreciate why we are all here, to learn the law, a system of rules and guidelines by which we live. When the law is broken, there are consequences which sometimes spill over onto the innocent. This test has been tainted by someone who chose to show disrespect not only for himself, but for all of us. The road toward becoming an honorable advocate is an arduous one. You can only grow along the way if simply you can assess yourselves with absolute honesty.